Hey everyone, I am Anthony Scott at ToyHackUSA.com. Today we are taking a look at the NECA Toys Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Classic Collection Dirtbag and Ground Chuck figures that are available now, exclusively available at Target stores here in the US and some international availability. So check out ToyHackUSA.com if you live overseas. Check out where you can buy these figures. This set is based on the 1987 classic cartoon series, and as I said, includes Dirtbag and Ground Chuck. And as you can see from the packaging, these figures look beautiful. The packaging is a window box packaging with artwork of each figure on the front there. You have the Ninja Turtles logo, as well as the Nickelodeon logo on the upper left-hand side. Both sides include images of each figure. On this side, it's Dirtbag, and the other side is Ground Chuck. On the back, you see some additional images of the figures, as well as Chrome Dome, Wingnut and Screwloose, and Mondo Gecko and Karma. You also see a description right above here, the Turtles logo, the Nickelodeon logo right there. And of course, on the bottom here, you have all the names of the great people at NECA Toys responsible for bringing this set together. So what I'm going to do now is open this up and let's take a closer look. Here's a look at their plastic tray. Each figure is inside, surrounded by their accessories, and behind them are the interchangeable hands and a few other accessories such as the base for Dirtbag. Here's a closer look at that second base. You see how all the interchangeable hands are positioned, and as well as that rock base for Dirtbag. Here's your in-hand look at Dirtbag and Ground Chuck. The colors on these figures are beautiful, great sculpting, great attention to detail. They really nailed it as far as likenesses. Dirtbag, as you can see, has a hard hat on for digging through the ground. He comes with a green shirt. He has orange suspenders, black pants, and his foot is sticking out here, while the other one has a boot on there. So that's definitely an interesting design, as you remember from the cartoon. Taking a look on the back, he has a good backpack on there. The tail even has a green ribbon tied around the end there. And there's a look at the other side. You'll also notice that the shading, it's darker gray in the back there and lighter gray in the front. And the bag even opens, so you can put some smaller accessories in, for example. I didn't do that, but that's pretty much the most you can open it. Would be hard to get smaller accessories in there. Let's take another look at that shading. Very nicely done. The head sculpt, great likeness on there. As I said, he has the helmet with the light right there so he can dig through the tunnels. He also has a pair of goggles on top of his head, which you can't move. They're sculpted on there. And as a bonus extra, he has a hinged jaw. So that's definitely pretty neat. Ground Chuck has more going for him as far as the sculpted details, especially all the different deco that's applied to this figure. He's much more colorful than Dirtbag, as you remember from the cartoon. And that includes some armor, such as the shoulder pad around his shoulder here, and especially on the legs. There's just a lot of great attention to detail going on here. You remember this shoulder pad from the cartoon with the bull logo on there. And of course, there's a look at the back. The head sculpt, very nicely done. You see one eye while the other eye is covered. And the horns are also different colors. The one on the right here has the same style as the legs. So it has that white with the black lines in between the grooves. And the other one is purple. The little bit of black shading on there. The jaw is also hinged, just as Dirtbag. And he even has that bull thing right on his nose here. and a little bit of green hair right on top. The belt also has the same type of bull logo as it does on the shoulder that you'll remember from the side here, which is pretty cool right there. And the belt is painted in purple with a blue lion cloth, and there's sculpted pouches around the sides which do not open. Here's a look at all of Dirtbag's accessories, including 3 sets of interchangeable hands, one closed-fisted, that's on his wrist right now, one open hand, and another set of open grip hands. He also comes with a shovel, a blaster, a drill, which is right here, he can hold with 2 of the open grip hands, a tracking device that was designed from Donatello, and a base, so he can drill through the ground and poke his head and torso sticking out of the ground, as shown. He can be split in half, and his legs can be removed, and his torso placed right on here. The flat piece in the back is where the backpack can rest on, so I'll be demonstrating that later on in the video. Ground Chuck also includes 3 sets of interchangeable hands, including closed-fisted, open hands, and open grip. He also comes with a pistol that he used in the series, and that includes cow horns in the front, and there's a lot of great details on that as well. Dirtbag open grip hands work well for the pistol and the tracking device, which you now see in his hand. The tracking device and pistol very nicely sculpted, and you see the 2 different shades of deco on there, the light and darker purple, and the light and darker gray on the pistol. Tracking device has a couple different buttons and a knob on there, which is white, and you also see the knob, the little white knob there is sticking out a little bit, so that's a kind of like a sculpted little piece that they glued on or something. The pistol also has some nice attention to detail on there. Very nice color, some yellow, some red, some darker gray. And let's take a look at the other side of this. So it's the same thing on the other side. The shovel also fits in nicely with the open grip hands and is given a light gray handle with a red tip on the back there. And given a white shovel, there's also a little bit of black deco around the edge here, just on one side around there. Here's a closer look at the drill accessory, which is very nicely done. It's given a white bit, and it's attached to a dark gray and lighter gray piece that he can hold on to. Very nicely done. There's definitely a lot of great detail going on here. And if you look really closely, those little black dots right above the drill almost looks like eyeballs. So it's almost like you're getting another character with this. And just above those, I'm going to call those eyeballs, there's a white stripe that goes all the way around. And interestingly enough, maybe I can show you here, you also have those same eyeballs on the other side with this detail as well. Dirtbag can also split apart at the waist, as I said earlier on in this video, and he can be put on this dirt base, so it's like he's digging through the ground and then jumping up to attack his enemies. This dirt base just places right around the torso there, and the flat piece that I said in the back is where the backpack can be rested on. It's also a tiny bit tricky to separate it, so I would recommend using a hairdryer just to loosen up the joints a little bit, as it is a tiny bit difficult to separate the figure apart, but once you're able to do that, you can put them on the base. And this is, in my opinion, the best accessory in this entire box set. It's a great effect, and I strongly recommend you guys displaying them like this. Here's a look at the blaster for Ground Chuck. This blaster is very unique, and I don't even remember how it's supposed to fire. I would have to rewatch the cartoon There's no visible barrel at the end, so it's quite interesting design-wise. This is shaped like a bull with or a cow maybe, with the horns in the front, and you got the tail, and even a little saddle right there on the top. So definitely unique. It's a fun accessory, and they did a really nice job sculpting and painting it, as you can see. Here's a comparison of both figures holding their blaster, Dirtbag, inside his rock base there. And overall, the blaster's very nicely done. They look accurate to the source material, and definitely great quality. Since Ground Chuck is a bull, he can run and charge and knock over opponents as shown. As Dirtbag is a mutated mole, he has abilities that Ground Chuck does not have, such as digging through the dirt, digging tunnels and then climbing out of them and attacking opponents. His size is definitely a threat to the turtles, and I think NECA Toys has really done a phenomenal job on this figure. In the cartoon, Bebop and Rocksteady were always depicted as a couple of dimwits, easily outnumbered and outwitted by the turtles. Turtles were able to beat them up fairly easily. Ground Chuck and Dirtbag were also defeated by the turtles, but they were definitely smarter. They had more capability than Rocksteady and Bebop. And as you can see here, Rocksteady and Bebop are still getting beat up. Overall, Dirtbag and Ground Chuck came out great. Great attention to detail, superb likenesses, and fantastic quality, just as we've seen consistently throughout the Turtles run. My recommendation is to pick up this 2-pack now, exclusively available at Target stores here in the US. And if you live internationally, check out ToyHypeUSA.com where you can purchase these overseas. I am Anthony Scott at ToyHypeUSA.com. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks again to NECA Toys for providing these figures for review.